Good evening, good morning, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else. Welcome to episode 5 of the Ruffians, the penultimate episode, as we've decided to extend one extra week to fit in a little bit of extra additional mayhem and destruction in the city. My name is Kieran, also known as Agent Number 1. I am going to be your dungeon master this evening. I have a few shout outs and thank yous I have to give before we get rolling and introduce you all to the players and what happened last time. So first off, I just want to thank, of course, Role4Damage, where we are the channel that kind of brought us all together, Vegemite Dangerous and Nova One, who you'll see in the chat throughout the night. Great, incredible group of people who have been running games here on Twitch for the last year or a little bit longer, I think now. And just a great community. If you like D&D, stay here, check it out. There's a bunch of games that come up. There's a bunch of new games starting in the next month and 2 months that we're going to be announcing very soon on our Discords and Twitters and everything else. So stay tuned. It's a great time to be tuning in. Next up, I want to thank Brepai, our artist, who you can see the wonderful Django Weatherby Teague there on the channel. She does all of the character artwork for the channel, and also runs an amazing webcomic and all sorts of stuff. Pumps out more incredible art, and it's wild. Go check her out. Links are down below. And I just want to shout out a few of our sister channels / groups and stuff like that. First off, we have Nerds of the West, which is a Western Australian board game channel that we trade players with back and forth. Next up is Wonders and Blunders, who I'm going to save for Mike to talk about a little bit more. We're a Canadian podcast. And I'm going to also shout out ParadiceRPG, which I'll have Shannon talk a bit about because we've stolen 2 of their players for this show. So with that being said, let's pass it over to Paradise member number 1, all the way to the left, Sean. Sean, tell us a little about yourself, a little bit about Paradise, and a little bit about Django for the new viewers.
Absolutely. So my name is Sean. You can find me on almost all social media at Odo_Sean, ODO_SEAN. I am the DM for the flagship show over at Paradise RPG, Advantage in Paradise, every Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And I also we do a few other shows on there, so check out the channel, check our social for other things. We have a merch store that just went live a few weeks ago, and some of the first deliveries have gone out. I know Shannon's got a shirt. My mom bought a shirt. We all got shirts. It's great. So check us out. I will be playing tonight, as you can see my ridiculous outfit, Django Weatherby Teague, who is an ostentatious man who enjoys looking fabulous, and I do tonight. It's my Bird of Paradise masquerade outfit. But happy to be here. It's been a blast. Let's see what happens tonight.
Excellent. And we'll pass that right over to Shannon, also of the Paradise crew, who's playing Lydia.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Shannon. I play Paradise. No, I play Scarlet over on Paradise RPG. As Sean said, every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I am also one half of the Tim and Shannon Power Hour, which is every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we talk about our sessions. We speculate on where we think the story's going. And we also chat with awesome members of the D&D and TTRPG community. And Sean has a new show that he started last week. I think it's
technically 3 weeks ago, but last week was the first official episode.
Yes, and now it has an official title. It is Relaxing in Paradise, and it's a time for Sean to get away from his players and talk about lore and his hand-drawn maps, and which are gorgeous. If you haven't checked them out, definitely stop by next time. They're very, very pretty. And I am playing Miss Lydia Ray, who always has Django in tow and is often cleaning up his messes. But she finds him to be a very dear friend, and her dearest ambition is to be the captain of her own ship someday.
They're always getting each other into trouble. Speaking of more trouble, we're going to flip over to the other side and start with possibly the less troublesome of the two, Era Blackwood, who's being played by Shelby. Shelby, tell us a bit.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm going to be playing Era Blackwood, and you can probably find me on the channel Wystle While You Work. You can also find me on Twitter at WhystleWys, spelled W-Y-S-T-L-E. I just tell stories of my D&D adventures and draw whatever D&D stuff comes to mind. And tonight I will be playing Miss Era Blackwood, a somewhat bitchy, a bit aloof elven wizard, and I also may have a friend joining me because he will not leave me alone.
Ow. Try to avoid any cats being harmed in this episode.
Oh no, I will not let Django throw this one into the ocean.
No promises.
And last but certainly not least, we have Mike Fardy over there playing Sloop Brine Scale.
That's right. It looks like I might be a photorealistic seagull, but I am in fact a boy named Mike Fardy. I'm the DM for the Wonders and Blunders podcast. We are kind of like a cute family horror comedy D&D5e podcast. That's not the way that I would pitch it. It's too many words, but go listen to it and you'll figure out sort of what it's about. We've been going for about a year now. We're coming out with episode 54, and it's a great time to tune in because we're doing some side adventures with some higher level characters, some level 10 bounty hunters in a big steampunk city. So tune in and check it out. You can find us at Wonder and Blunder on Twitter and wonderandblunder.com. And I play Sloop Brine Scale, who is a kobold rogue. There he is. He has a hook for a tail and a penchant for danger. And he can eat, or he can fit 20 cocktail wieners in his mouth at the same time, as confirmed last episode.
This is very true. Which, speaking of the last episode, a bunch of different stuff happened. We found ourselves in the middle of a masquerade party is where we most recently left off. But just to get everybody up to speed, I think we'll let Sean give a recap of last episode. He seems unprepared, so I'm going to single him out. Caught him off guard, just as planned.
you should.
It was like
Now you'll know how it feels, Sean.
Says like,
when you make us recap.
I never make you recap. Not on Paradise, at least.
Not on Paradise. Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. So, oh yes. Okay. So last week we spent the day before going to the masquerade that was happening in the evening, exploring the dockside of the city, where we became enraptured by a strange boat, a man o' war that we had heard about. That was, what were my notes? Well, it was a man o' war, and it was, what's the family's name again? That
Radcliffe.
Okay, the Ratcliffes were building a man o' war, which seemed strange because it was an expensive man o' war. They seemed to come into some money, so we started to wander down to the docks with the intent of exploring it, potentially even causing some trouble. Though our several attempts to infiltrate this were thwarted, we noticed a few things. One, we noticed that the dock hands had a strange, almost robotic behavior to them as they were loading up the ship. We tried talking to them, and they always responded in somewhat of a robotic way, proclaiming the dock was open to civilians this day. Even when I, Django Weatherby Teague, I thought did a brilliant impression of a boat inspector from the Ratcliffe family. And I was thwarted, though Era's cat had run up at that point, and I was bringing the cat back, and I said to Era, really quickly, would you mind if I threw your cat into the water? And then tossed her cat, it was a familiar, into the water of the docks with the hopes that the cat could climb aboard and see more that we could not see, which she did. Jezebel, the cat, saw much more than we did before approaching what seemed like some sort of anti-magic field where she was disapparated, and Era was attacked with some mental trap that took her almost all her health away. While that was happening, a crowd had come all around and was yelling at Django for being a cat murderer. And guards started to come to find the cat murderer because a lovely old woman reported him. So we swiftly made our way back to the tavern, where we got ourselves ready for the masquerade in the evening. When we went to the masquerade, before we went to the masquerade, this was actually the night before, we had spoken to Captain Sybil about the we had gave to her the book. That was the episode before. Okay, we gave her the book that from the.
I think it was like first thing in the morning. some of that happened.
Yeah, there was some more that happened there, but regardless, we made it to the masquerade where we all posed as the Blackwood family, extended family of Era, and we started to rub some shoulders inside and hear some things, explore the space. This all kind of came to a peak when Era got into somewhat of a ego-driven duel with a wizard duel of words, as they tried to outdo each other with magical spells, and which then swiftly degraded into insults. And I believe
it escalated quickly.
It escalated very quickly, and I believe we ended where we all came back together after doing a little bit of investigation throughout the chamber.
That arrow clearly won that battle.
I would agree.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thorough victory.
You made a fool out of that.
Fatality.
Yes. So, a couple notable things at the party itself. Sloop went off and ate as much food as he possibly could fit into his mouth. He met a lovely madame of sorts who took a liking to him, finding his antics quite charming, to say the least. Era snooped around, met kind of the head of the household, and got into this battle of words, while Django and Lydia tore up the dance floor, and then eventually snooped a few kind of leads around. They met the sergeant, one of the guards, sergeants of the guards who was at the party, Sergeant Cuthard, and snooped out a few places that it looked like they maybe wanted to go. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with the rest of this party. So when we resume, it is coming up around kind of 9 p.m. in the evening. The main foods have all been brought out and served, kind of the hot foods. A couple people have picked away at things while you guys have been investigating. And at this point, kind of the music has started picking up. The band has started getting a little bit more lively, and some of the more formal dancing has begun out on the dance floor as well, as the group of you kind of reconjoin off to the side.
Well, so do you two still want to try and get back into one of those rooms?
I had to look around.
Certainly, I think it is the only place we've not seen or explored at this time. There may be something hidden back there. It may just be more guests, of course, but I do think it is worth investigating.
Well, maybe we should send Sloop and Lydia. They are the most sneaky of us.
I could not agree more, sister-in-law.
Nobody suspected anything?
Not yet.
If we get caught, I'll just say we're looking for the bathroom.
Oh, it's a classic one.
Hmm.
I guess I don't need to do Exterminator in here. I'm too fancy for Exterminator today.
No, I don't think they'd expect their exterminator to be wearing a white tuxedo. Well, do you need cover, or do you think you can use this as a means to get in?
I think we can manage.
All right. Well, Django, what do you want to do while we wait?
Well, I suppose we can continue rubbing shoulders with these folk, see if we can find out anything else new beyond the what we learned from the sergeant and his disinterest in higher affairs. Perhaps we could insult some more of the Aaron family.
Oh, I would gladly. That woman was a joy to destroy.
So I really think we might need, though, and Django voice starts to come back in, but I really think what we might need is something to wedge between these two families. Their unification problematic.
We'll see what we can find in the back. See if we can find anything useful.
Django will let out a guffaw, as if you just told a funny joke. Just, oh, of course. dear. Of course. And then I'll hold her arm out to Era. Sister-in-law, shall we mingle while these two look for the bathroom?
Oh, why, yes. That seems appropriate. Don't be long, you two.
Come along, darling. And I'll take Sloop's hand.
Remember to have him wash his hands.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, darling.
Pushing it now.
Need to sell it.
Yes, okay, mother. Right away.
Very
Make
good.
sure you get a hard drink after this.
Yes. You can have as much alcohol as you want.
It's a dangerous promise.
I'm not your mother.
I'm getting confused in the narrative. Keep it straight. Right.
All right, so
so-
we'll start heading back.
Django and Lydia, you head to the dance floor or to some of the areas around. The dance floor itself, kind of the formal dancing has picked up right now.
You
So
mean
people
Django
are-
and Era? Lydia's going with them.
Sorry, Django and Era. Yes, sorry. The dance floor, so that on the dance floor, the kind of formal dancing has picked up, and people who are kind of in that area are a bit more lock in step in these stereotypical, everybody is kind of doing like the same set of dances together to the songs that are playing. Though there are, you can tell just looking around the room, like there are pockets all around the outside and out on the balcony where there are people standing around and just chatting, watching, drinking, eating, any and all of the above.
Well, want to check the outside. I haven't been out there yet.
I think that's a good idea. It should be our next target.
Shall we, dear?
Of course, sister-in-law.
Era.
Say things like that, I
fine.
have to roll.
Of course, sister-in-law, my sister-in-law.
you know, Django. That's not how normal people speak to each other.
Excuse me, dear Era. I don't know who you're talking about. My name is William.
Oh, I forgot about that nickname by your wife. My apologies.
Shall we?
So the two of you make your way out to the balcony. Or you want to go all the way out and look around, or just snooping on that area? There are like the entire wall is made of glass.
Say snooping for now, and if something was interesting, try and mix our way in. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, maybe
It's
starting
open,
on the
just-
balcony.
Yeah. So yeah, as you I guess as you step out kind of into the just kind of out through the main set of doors, you're greeted with this incredible view of the city that you have seen while being inside. As you kind of first entered the hallway, you could see this, but you're really seeing that this whole balcony, this whole large stone palisade, just leers out over the entire set of docks. You're a couple stories up where you are on the cliffs, and that kind of like a fall from this height would be painful, if not deadly, depending on your adventuring level. But you're well above kind of the rooftops and everything of down below. There are quite a few different people out here. In particular, there's a good crowd. One of the other things you would notice, actually, I'll just get you both to make perception checks. Why am I just giving you things? Let me make this a little difficult for you.
I was like, just no one say anything. Just let him keep talking.
No.
Django, do better than me. Thank you.
Django, things that particularly, are you looking for just people that are interesting?
Yeah, I guess important people, conversations that are interesting. I think what I'm particularly looking for are errands and Neres, and maybe errands and Neres that are not together, like a sole Nere or a sole Aaron who might be talking with a few others.
You do notice that the woman that Era was arguing with previously is out on the southern kind of part of this balcony, just out smoking a cigarette, having a moment to herself, no doubt in defeat. You notice a woman in a kind of classic black dress and a nightingale mask that, I mean, it's hard to tell kind of who is Aaron and who is a Nere at first glance, but I would say with Era's help, you would be able to point out that she was standing with Gregory Nere at the beginning when you were talking with him. You notice a kind of a crowd of 4 unusual suspects that are just kind of standing around in a group talking to each other. Some of them a bit larger than others. They stand out because it's one's a big guy, one's a really tiny guy, one's a really lanky guy. And then there's also just, a collection of various humans, elves, and dwarves, like Barakeen, dwarves, gnomes, halflings, all out here chatting. With a 13, I can't really give you much more than that.
Yeah. Okay, so then Django will lean over to Era and just say, shall we split up or should we stay together?
Maybe splitting up. Talk to more people. You both look fairly inconspicuous. Who do you want to talk to?
Oh, I was thinking perhaps you could go brag to the woman in the nightingale mask. She was with Gregory Nere earlier. She may be a Nere. Perhaps you could brag about putting Ellenwood into her place. See what their reactions are.
Oh, gladly. And I'm assuming you want to go talk to that group, and she points to the more unusual ones, like the tall guy, the lanky guy.
Yes, I certainly would like to talk to big, tiny, and lanky. And then perhaps I'll speak with Elmingwood myself, if I don't get much from big, tiny, and lanky.
Well, I'm certain you'll at least get something out of her. She seems to have quite a bit of pride. Anyway, good luck.
Certainly. Good luck.
All right.
Is the two you split your ways north and south on the balcony? We'll stop over to Sloop and Lydia entering through the set of parted red curtains that block off this hallway that have been drawn open on this hallway. And as you step through, there is a few things you notice. There is a guard at the end of the hallway watching a door. I don't have tokens for him, but I'm going to ping him on the map. There's a guard here. You notice a guard by the set of stairs in the middle. And that is, and then you notice kind of there's like a crowd of people here, all kind of along the right side of the hallway. Servants you can see are flitting in and out of the 2 doors here and here.
All right. Where do you want to start?
Well, my instincts always say the guarded doors are the best ones, but
yes,
maybe we can check the unguarded ones first.
I think that's a good idea, but I definitely want to get through that door in the end.
Agreed.
All right.
And I'll just sort of the servants coming in and out of the doors on our left, are they carrying food?
They are food and drinks, and then sometimes dirty dishes back the other way.
So
you could reasonably assume there's a kitchen back there.
Yeah. I think Sloop for a second is kind of like takes a step towards that door, and then his stomach kind of grumbles a little bit, and he's like,
"Oh no, maybe better the other side."
And I'll check one of the doors on the right.
I'll keep an eye out as he ducks in there.
Yeah, feel free to move your token to whichever door you would like to check.
Okay, I'm gonna go right in here.
So you notice that there's kind of a bit of a crowd outside, but as you step in, you find yourself in a very serene looking room. There is a small water fountain feature in front of you. On the side, there is a table with plants and a variety of clean white linen rags. There's 2 doors on the far end of the room that are closed, and you can hear some movement behind them.
I guess I'll just walk up to one of the doors and knock.
Occupied!
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I'll go up to the other one and knock.
Yeah, it is occupied as well. I'll give you a minute.
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
And then I'll just give both a quick knock and then walk back out into the hall.
Yeah, you hear some like, oh, so rude, as you come back out from the bathroom.
Yeah, and just back up to Lydia.
That's washrooms for sure. So we found them. That excuse
that was
might
too
be longer.
fast. Yeah. All right. The next one. Do you want me to go in this time?
My token is locked in this room.
I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, now we've given him too much power.
Yeah.
I'll keep watch.
All right.
Lydia, as you
Yes.
step in, I'm so upset you guys didn't switch positions in which one of these rooms you went into. But Lydia, you step into a very similar room. This one, you do notice that there are a few other women hanging out in it, just getting their makeup and everything together, making sure that their hair is correct. But it is very similar in shape and style.
Got it. Are there mirrors?
There are mirrors. There would be mirrors on the wall. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to, under the guise of going to touch up my own makeup, I want to go like lean into the mirror and just like listen and see if anybody's saying anything.
Make a perception check. Why
Got
don't you?
it. Perception. Here I come. Hey, not bad.
With 15, so you do notice that there is quite a number of the women in here are dressed up in these worker bee masks and various kind of dresses of all sorts and colors, very flowery dresses, and they seem to be talking about just the kind of the state of suckers at this event, saying that there's quite a few loose purses around. There's quite a bit of money to be made. They do sort of hush up a little bit as you come closer, but you can tell that they are very clearly working the crowd, and are there more on business than on pleasure.
Okay. So after listening to that, I'll like look over my shoulder at them as I'm leaving. Good evening. And I'll step back out.
Yeah, they give you a quick good evening, but don't pay you much mind.
Okay. Getting back to Sloop. It's another washroom.
Okay. Well, I guess that only leaves the juicier doors.
Yes. I don't know, I'm trying to think of a way we can distract that god.
I could be a terrible child.
All right. I will follow
Despite your
lead.
mask, you do not look like a giant. You still look like a kobold. You are a small dragon boy. You could pass as a dragon boy child, like a.
I mean, they did say he was adopted.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on.
I don't mean to crush on your plans. By all means, please.
All right. I'll follow your lead.
Okay. What? I'm gonna have to book it pretty quick after this move. So, I'll get both.
Are you
of them
going to try
after
and?
me.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just walk up to the guard at the door on the right. So up to this guy.
Yep. As you pass by the set of stairs, you kind of see the guard there take note of you, but doesn't pay you too much heed. The guard walking at that door does put up his hand as you come closer, and he's like, "Sorry, this area is off limits."
Oh, why is that?
Because this is not part of where the party is. You
Oh.
are here for the party.
Well, that would be a perfect hiding spot, hey? Were there children hiding inside?
None of the children are hiding here right now. If you're looking for the twins, I'm sure they're out on the dance floor somewhere or stuffing their faces.
Yes, the twins. We've all been playing hide and seek, you see, and it seems like I think one of them snuck past you into this room. So I'll just give it a quick look over and then...
Make a deception check.
Deception.
Oh no.
You rolled a 10.
Yes, you see, I am also a child. My name is Little Willie Blackwood.
I mean, geez,
May have heard of me.
I would have been surprised if they slipped past me, but they've been running all over all night. Sure, yeah, you can take a quick look. Let me come in and help you. And you can see he fishes around for like a key ring, unlocks the door and opens it.
Okay.
You would think he'd be like, this door is locked. How did these kids
right?
do
I was gonna say those twins are good.
he failed his role. I mean, let him fail his role. And so he opens up the door into this office that let me let you into. Good job.
Aha.
Here we go. Cool. Neat. Technology. Yeah, so you open up into this very beautiful wooden mahogany trimmed office. There's a large high back chair behind a overly large desk with a number of different papers on it, all kind of laid out in what looks like a very meticulous manner. To your right, as you enter, you can see a small bar cart lined with a variety of liquors. And then kind of along the wall as you go on, there's paintings, cabinets, chests, 2 windows in the back that look out over the cliffside, and then just a wall of bookcases on your left-hand side. And the guard says, it doesn't really look like they're in here.
Oh, but they are slippery, aren't they? So how about you take the left side, I'll take the right side. We meet in the middle, just to be sure. Sure. A quick sweep of the room wouldn't hurt. Be good to make sure no one's in here. And yeah, you see him go along the left, and he kind of starts. He kind of like looks through a couple of books, and then he's like, oh, kid couldn't sit in here, and then starts making his way along the left behind kind of the desk and the chairs.
Okay. And I'm gonna like make a show of going over to the chairs and sort of lifting them up and being like,
not under here, not under here.
And then like I'm gonna try to just start rifling around on top of the desk, looking like I'm trying to climb over it to look under the desk, but just going through everything on top of it.
I'm gonna need you to make a performance check. I think.
Performance? Okay.
Yeah. Because definitely the moment it starts hearing the rustling, he's like, whoa, no, got you. Oh my God, the narrator gonna. Listen, this is a mess. I'm gonna have to get you to leave. Geez, I gotta tidy this up before they get in here. But look, it looks like they're not in here. I don't know where the kids could have hid. I don't know. You maybe best checking out on the dance floor. Sorry, you're gonna have to leave.
Okay. Can I try to, as he's like getting me off of the desk, can I try to slip his keyring away?
You may make a sleight of hand.
Come on.
It's gonna be difficult.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Remember, you got the nat 20 booster.
Woo!
I'm gonna use my booster, right? So I have the plus D6.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you
Okay.
do, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna add it.
Nice.
Yeah. As long as you literally do anything at a single number, you've succeeded on that check.
Hey.
So yeah, you managed to,
Nice.
as he's kind of shooing you off, you're like, oh, thank you, and you go to give him like a little child hug, and he's like, oh, that's adorable, but get out of here. And you snap the key ring off of him and pocket it without him noticing.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Oh boy, well, they got away from me again this time, I suppose. Thank you so much for your help. I'm sorry for messing up this office. I've got a thing with offices.
Oh, it's okay. We'll get it cleaned up. And once he's shooed you out of the room, he actually closes the door behind you, leaving himself inside.
While there was another guard standing outside, right?
There is a guard standing like at the staircase.
At the staircase. Okay, so while he's in there, I'll go up to that guard and say, "Excuse me, have you seen a little child wandering around? I seem to have lost my son. You can't miss him. Looks like a dragon."
Yeah, I think he just walked through that way a minute ago.
Oh, good. Thank you. Tends to run off.
Not a problem, ma'am. And yeah, he points you in the direction of the office that Slope went not a minute ago.
All right. Can I see anything past him on the stairs, like any people or?
You can make a perception check.
Okay. Yeah, that's better.
Nice.
Yeah, so from where you are, you get a bit of a look into the upstairs and downstairs. Unfortunately, there's not a lot visually interesting,
Sure.
but allowing you to rely on some of your other senses as well. You do hear one set of patrolling footsteps upstairs, and downstairs you don't hear anything, it seems like.
Okay.
But I will say, because you have been standing around here for a little bit now, especially as Sloop went into the first washroom, you probably would have seen some servants occasionally go downstairs and come back up with things like, say, like a bag of potatoes.
Okay. All right. And as they're walking out, I'll walk up, or as he's, because you said the guard stayed in the room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There you are. You can't run off like that. We've talked about this.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Mother. And then you sort of using Lydia to block a little bit, I'm going to quickly spin the keys out of my pocket and lock the door.
Oh, okay.
And then spin them back into the pocket.
Yeah.
Nice.
And be like, might have found us a few ways into a few doors.
Oh, well done.
Great. We're gonna cut across to the balcony.
This is getting interesting.
Oh no.
The two of you have split up on the two different sides. Django, you've gone down to talk to the mob of people there, and Era, you have gone up to talk to the woman in the nightingale mask, I believe.
Yes, and who do you want us to start? Do you want to start with me or Django?
Oh, let's start with you, Era.
All right. Well, the way I want to do this is I still have Jezebel. She's just kind of draped around my neck because she is now a slinky cat. I'm going to kind of come up onto the balcony a bit away from her, and I'm going to command Jezebel to start running down the balcony towards her. Give me
you see that she is kind of leaned over the balcony with one arm and a drink, and is just kind of taking in the night sky. And then sees this thing run towards her and goes like, ah!
I'm going to approach, pick her up. I am so sorry. She gets excited around new people. I didn't expect her to do that. I am so sorry. I promise she's harmless.
My God, I thought it was some kind of wharf rat.
Oh no,
scary.
ferret. And I'm going to put her on my shoulders.
Of course, beautiful. You're the one who was talking to Gregory inside about that young errand boy.
Oh, yes. I was just a curious bit to gossip, really. I didn't mean to offend.
No. You seem to know more than me. May I ask what you've heard about him?
I just heard that he was missing. Did you not read the papers this morning? And what with what happened at the warehouse?
We heard about the warehouse, certainly, but we haven't had much of a chance to get out of the house today, I'm afraid. It's been a little busy.
Oh, it was all over the news this morning. Apparently, Pippa Aaron has been reported missing. There was I believe there was a tip. I don't know. See, me and my family aren't from here. We just came for the celebration, and hearing that was quite distressing news.
It's quite distressing indeed. How long did they say he's been gone for?
I don't think they said. I don't remember. I just heard that he was missing.
Thank you so much. I don't know if you'll hear anything tonight, but if you do, I'd love to hear more. I hate to see anything happen to any members of the families.
Oh well, they don't
Much
seem
infighting already.
Oh, I can tell one of them seems to be a bit prideful, and she kind of subtly motions in the direction of what was her, Emerwood?
Elmingworm.
Elmingworm. I'm so sorry.
It's a mouthful of a name. Yes, the young mage. Well, she's related. I can't imagine it's easy to have any of your own kind go missing.
Oh, I can't imagine not, but it certainly doesn't excuse her behavior this evening.
Was she causing a scene?
Oh, you see, I have my nephew, and he loves when I do magic. So I was just making a little show of cleaning his clothes, and she felt the need to, berate me in front of everyone.
I'm sure you understand. They don't always take so kindly to magic.
Oh, I know, but it was just strange when she had the nerve to conjure magic herself.
It's quite a showstopper to put on at this party, but
I have to say, I'm not very impressed with her skills. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Era Blackwood. It's very nice to meet you, Miss.
Era. Lillian Nere.
Lillian, it's very nice to meet you.
You as well. You're enjoying your time at the party?
Very much so. Mr. Gregory says that he and my husband seem to have gone way back, so it's nice to be here for him.
Oh, one of Gregory's husbands. I understand. There's a lot of friends that he's met over the years.
Oh yes.
I'm sure he's a nice man. Is he in attendance tonight?
Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. My family came. My family came because we wanted to make sure that he was here in spirit, especially since him and Gregory went so far back.
Oh, that's splendid to hear. Well, splendid to hear that they went back. It's horrible to hear about your husband. I'm sorry for your loss, but how nice that you get to sail so far and come visit such wonderful sights.
Oh yes, it's been a bit of a dream of mine to come back here. I came here when I was quite small, so it's nice to be back, seeing how everything's changed.
Yes, the city's grown quite a bit.
That's why it was so shocking hearing the news. Has there
Yes.
has there been any other leads? I mean, especially with their warehouse, just in that awful ship that's being built. Things are just strange.
Yes, the Ratcliffes. I don't know. I try to stay out of Gregory's business where I can. I've mostly have my hands full here at the house with the kids, but I'm afraid I don't know much more on leads. It does seem like it's horrible about the explosion. My heart bleeds for them regardless.
I just hope everyone was all right. What could have caused such a large explosion like that?
And she looks at you and just is like, I don't have the foggiest. And you see she kind of leans back over the rail in thought.
Something on your mind, miss? Are you all right?
Always much on my mind. There's just a lot going on. It's a busy party. I suppose I should get back into Gregory. He'll want me by his side. It's a pleasure meeting you, Miss Blackwood. And please, if you hear any more, come find me.
You'll be the first person I talk to, miss. Thank you for speaking with me, and I'm terribly sorry about her. I promise that she is friendly.
Nothing the guards can't handle if it gets out of control. And she lets out a little dry chuckle and makes her way back inside. Django, you approach this group of 4 characters. They're all wearing black and white tuxes, wearing the masks of a lion, a bunny, a rhino, and a bulldog. There are 4 of them. I will let you know that one of them you can immediately notice is a orc. One is a tabaxi, one is a barraquin, a gnome, and the other appears to be human.
Okay. All right. And they seem, their costumes, do they seem well made as the rest of the crowds?
Yeah, they're pretty well put together. I guess what kind of drew you to them is just that it's always a little bit unusual seeing someone like an orc anywhere, just because they aren't a very, very common race in more peaceful environments outside of their own homelands. As well as the tabaxi is certainly draws some eye because they come from a very far away part of the world. But you do notice that they are just kind of all standing together, talking to each other in hushed tones.
Okay. And are there waiters out on the balcony bringing around like champagne or anything like that?
Yeah, there would be some. There's kind of one always standing by the door, both inside the balcony and just inside both sides. Just standing there with like a plate of champagne.
Okay. All right. So Django will slip a flute of champagne from one of the waiters and come over to this group of gentlemen, and he'll kind of just sort of. Are they sitting at a table, or like is it like a high top table they're leaning against, or are they just standing?
They're standing up in a circle.
Cool. Okay.
And as you approach, you notice that they kind of one of them eyes you, and they kind of all like hush up their conversation.
Okay. All right. So kind of seeing that, Django will kind of play. I think Django's going to play a bit more drunk than like he's going up to talk to them. And I'd like to lean against. I'd like to not actually go up and talk to them, but sort of walk past them and try to appear harmless, and just like lean against the edge of the balcony and just be close enough to maybe hear what they have to say after attempting to appear just sort of like this party. Oh.
Make a performance check for me to throw them off your scent.
Oh boy. All right, at 21.
21. Yeah. You notice they kind of one of them gives you an eye, and they hush up for a minute, and then they just kind of go back to this hushed conversation. You may make a perception check to pick up what they are saying. It will be difficult.
I will be using one of my rerolls for that 10. Oh boy. There we go.
With a 23, you am I correct in saying you have the ability to read lips? Do I remember that?
Oh, I forgot about that. Thank you. Yes, I can read lips.
So I'll give you that with the 23 perception. Yeah. You hear them kind of talking in these hushed tones, and it's difficult to pick up all of it. It's even difficult to pick up their lips because they're in such kind of a tight-knit formation with each other. But you can clearly tell from their conversation that they are investigating something at this party. They seem to be having a bit of trouble getting anywhere. They say that they've discovered a bunch of kind of locked rooms and guard patrols, but they're not sure how to get past them or anything. And they're also just kind of complaining about the general state of the group of people here.
And by general state, they're complaining about
the nobility.
Nobility, that's what okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So sort of once he's gotten as much as he can, he'll kind of push himself off the balcony and just sort of, oh, such a lovely night, chaps. Lovely fresh air. And then I'll move along kind of away from them and towards Elvingworm.
Yeah. She's a little bit further kind of down the balcony, sulking in somber silence, smoking a cigarette.
So as he's sort of walking along the balcony, he'll straighten himself up, kind of get out of the drunken state, and just come up and approach slowly and lean against the balcony next to her. Not too close, just kind of leaning back against it, looking to her, just saying, "Dreadfully sorry, my dear, for the behavior of my sister-in-law. She doesn't know when to stop."
It's your sister-in-law? She's a real piece of work, you know that?
And he'll lean closer at that and be like, "You're telling me. She's if she weren't related to my dear wife, she can get on your nerves quite quickly."
Make a persuasion check. Or deception? I'm not really sure what the right one is here.
Is that a
would let you-
total lie?
I would let you do. I mean, it's a lie, but it's about a fictional persona relationship, so it's
Right.
kind of
It's extremely.
he has the actor feat. I'd let you do either persuasion or deception, whatever you choose.
All right, I'm gonna go with persuasion.
Okay, this cat is gonna go. You're gonna go.
Jeez.
Off the bone.
I'm gonna use my. Should I keep it 14? Oh yeah. I'm gonna do my reroll. I want to get this persuasion roll. There it is.
Ooh, nice. Very nice.
She lets out a solid like ha laugh, and pulls a cigarette out of a case and offers it to you. She's
There you
like,
go. We'll take it. Yeah.
It's quite rude of her to bring up such events. It's been a very trying time for my family as of late.
Certainly, and of course, for the rest of our family, I send my deepest regards. It seems like quite a lot of trouble for the errands of late. I do hope that your prosperity might grow with this new forged alliance with the Neroys.
Yes, I certainly hope so. It's been a bit of a long time in the making, but well, I don't really see anything that could stand in the way of it. Frankly, it's a smart business decision. It benefits both of us, both families. We've been a little setback with the warehouse, but well, we've been around a long time. We'll bounce back. I'm certain of that.
Well, I hope to see it. What do you suppose the Ratcliffes think of this unison?
Who cares what the Ratcliffes think? They're beneath the rest of us. They've been scrobbling around in the sewers practically, digging their way into sides of cliffs, and I mean, you can see she looks out at the boat and says, I don't know where they've gotten the money and manpower for that monstrosity. I don't trust it. I don't trust it one bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the ones who were behind the explosion. They've always been digging their ways into all sorts of trouble here, but I don't know. I don't have any proof or evidence.
What sort of dreadful things do you think they've gotten into? Perhaps if they've... I've never quite seen an explosion like what I've heard came about at the warehouse. What do you think they may have used? Something foul?
I mean, it seemed like a pretty natural gunpowder type thing. I suspect somebody made some sort of bomb, maybe worked its way in through the sewers would be my best guess. It's really hard for me to tell. Right now, we're letting the authorities do their work, but, well, I don't know if you've met the City Watch in this town, but they're useless. And you can see she kind of rolls an eye back and clocks Sergeant Cuthard in the crowd. who you can
Yes.
see is on the dance floor, like just like repeatedly stepping on some poor woman's toes, bungling the dance effort that he is trying to put on a flashy display of.
Oh, certainly. I've met Mr. Cuthard there. Seems he has a distaste for the nobility in general, for the higher ups.
Well, he's a man loyal to the throne, let's say. He doesn't like us keeping business, so not much you can do about it if we're gonna do business in their town. Because I guess it is their town now. You can see she kind of sighs and looks out over the old port of town, which is mostly made of elven buildings, Galakine buildings.
Certainly interesting times.
Certainly.
Do I have any other questions for her? Yeah, Jenga will kind of continue to finish the cigarette with her and just look to her and say, well, I look forward to speaking more tonight. Hopefully mending the wound my sister-in-law has made, but hopefully a kind ear, listening friend today has done some work for that anyway.
Well, I'm glad to see you're all not quite as bad as she is, but thank you for the attempt. And you can see she finishes her cigarette, opens her pack, pulls out another one and lights it, and just kind of goes back to her lament, but seems in a bit of a cheerier mood for sure.
Okay. Django will push off and find Era.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I said I'd imagine at that point I would have just been finishing up my conversation with Lillian, so I can meet up at the door.
Yeah. You can meet up at the door as you make your way back inside.
What'd you get? Anything?
Django will play off a little bow to her and just say, well, I seem to have put your frenemy over there, happier moods. So,
she should know when not to challenge somebody of superior intellect.
Perhaps she should. Perhaps we should remember our subtle profile. I know I haven't been one to be perfect at that, to be frank. But she did have much to complain about the Radcliffes and their goings-on.
What a coincidence. Miss Lillian Array over there seemed to be... She didn't speak much about them, but she definitely spoke about them in distaste.
Well, it seems they've been digging in the cliffs around here. Who knows what they're looking for? Although it does seem, though, that she believes that they were probably behind the warehouse explosion.
Well, isn't that fortunate for us? Tell me, do you think perhaps they may have been who went through looking through the little secret that Sloop found?
Perhaps. Oh, and the other thing I learned is big, tiny, lanky, and rhino
Normal
face.
looking.
Normal looking, yeah.
Like rhino face.
They seem to be getting into similar trouble to us tonight.
Should I send someone to watch and listen?
I think that would be wise. Subtly, they said they've been having trouble getting into the locked areas of the house. They're investigating something. They are not noble. They were complaining about the nobility. Perhaps the Ratcliffes have sent someone in as well.
Well, Cat's trying to get the treats. Well, send Jezebel to do some listening. Right now she's a bit smaller, easier to conceal. And while she's looking, you can meet up with Sleeping Lydia, see what they found.
I think that is wise.
Speaking of Sloop and Lydia and what they found, we're gonna cut back across to the hallway where the two of you have locked a guard inside of an office.
Boy.
And yeah, what's your plan here?
How did it go? Any luck? Do we want to head upstairs?
I would like to, but it sounded like there were more guards upstairs.
Well,
I really would like to see what's in this other door, but we have to get rid of this one first.
Is that the door across from us?
Yeah. Yeah, you would be within sight of the staircase guard there.
Okay.
well, I think maybe in a few moments, when he realizes what has happened, we may have an opening to go to one of those places.
What has happened? What did you do?
Oh, I locked that man in that room, and he's going to be calling for help at some point.
Well done. All right, so shall we just wait until they notice and then
We can
go
sleep
upstairs
upstairs.
maybe? Yeah. All right.
So, as you two coolly rejoin some of the hallway crews and make your way into looking like innocent, regular bystanders, a number of minutes pass, and then eventually you do hear the clank, clank, clang rattle of a doorknob, and the hello, boom, 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 boom. Hello, and you see the guard kind of look around a minute, and then take a few steps out and be like, where is the other guard? And eventually make his way to that door and begin a lively conversation through the door.
Right. I'll have been making like a fuss about straightening his shirt and his mask, and a mother fussing over her son. And then as soon as that guard leaves, nonchalantly walk up to him. Very nonchalantly, I hope.
Are you going up the stairs, down the stairs? Which way are you going?
Go.
Through the other door?
We will go up the stairs. We'll go up the stairs first. I don't think we need to go downstairs. It seems like a cellar of some sort.
Yes, always easier to go down than up as well later.
Yes. Right. Better make it quick.
Okay, up we go.
Okay. Let me grab your tokens onto the upstairs map so you can see what's going on there.
Ooh, fancy.
Sloop. Lydia. That work? Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, you can see that?
Yeah.
Hopefully it worked for everybody
Oh. Yeah.
on the stream. I
There's
think.
lots of things to explore up here.
Ooh.
Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, lots of doors. Oh boy.
Yeah, Veg, I might have to get you to switch that on the stream. Oh no, you got it. Kind of. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so you come up this hallway. Are you making stealth checks?
Yes.
Sounds like a good idea. Oof.
Oh. Come on, rogue.
they had to
You're
fail
supposed to be
me.
better at this.
Yeah.
As you come up the stairs, you enter into a hallway that you can see kind of runs to your left and right, and then a little bit in the right turns around into an L shape. You are in luck because the footsteps that you heard, you can hear down that side of the L shape, but are not immediately waiting for you at the top of the stairs. Got lucky on that dice roll. There are 2 doors you can immediately kind of see behind you on your left and right. You can also see one door at the end of the hallway, and then you can't tell what's around the corner. You also see a number of windows in the walls in front of you that just kind of look out over the cliff face.
Right, we
Oh.
don't have a lot of time. Do you want to split up? Cover the
I'll
rooms?
take left.
All right, I'll go right.
Okay. Sloop, you have no problem entering in through this door. Lydia, your door is locked.
Can I hear the feet? Are they coming closer?
They are. You can tell that you have some time.
Okay.
Not a whole lot, but they're moving at like a slow guard's pace.
Okay. Oh. I have a crowbar, but that seems kind of obvious.
Well, you decide.
All right. Yeah.
Sloop, you open up into a bedroom, which I'm hoping we can see there. Yeah, you open up into a bedroom. You can see there are 2 beds in this room. Immediately, you kind of step in and have to put your hand over your mouth as your foot sinks into a sharp wooden object. You look down and discover that it is a small little pirate action figure. And as you look down across the floor, you can see that there are a number of toys and the like spread out all across. There are beds on your right, there are kind of cabinets on your left, and at the far end of the room, you can see a couple of desks full of various kind of papers and scrolls and whatnot.
Okay. So
You
Sloop.
can tell you are in a child's room.
Okay. So Sloop, yeah, is just like, and then reaches down and grabs the pirate figure and is like,
It's kind of cool.
puts it in his pocket.
Stealing
And
from a
then-
child.
A rich child. And then makes his way over to the desks just to sort of investigate, see if there's anything worth knowing.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
Sure.
Can I poke my head into the room he's in?
Absolutely, you could slip in. Yeah.
My door is locked. I'm gonna need your tail.
Oh, yes, okay. I can get that. Do you want to switch? I don't
Right.
know if there's anything in here. Looks like, I don't know, they got some cool toys, if that's your thing.
We're not here for toys. I'll look at the desk.
Yeah, you do a quick rummage through the desk with that 21 investigation. You find that it's mostly filled with things like writing samples and homework. That you can estimate that the kids are not super old, probably in, I don't know what age children learn
Kindergarten?
writing at.
5,
I'm going to
6,
say
5,
they're in
5 and
grade
6.
3.
Oh, we learned to write way before that.
Okay, well, I don't know. With a 21, you could investigate. You'd find out that they're like probably around like 7 years old, and that they are progressing pretty well academically. You don't really know. You're a pirate. You haven't spent a lot of time in a formal education system. It's a bit of a bizarre concept to you. But yeah, you actually don't. Other than that, you don't really find anything of interest based on what you're looking for. What you've told me you're looking for.
Yeah, they're good writers. Good for them, I guess. Better than me.
All right. I don't know how much time we've got, so we better move on. If you
Okay.
want to take the door that was locked, I'll go across the hall.
Sounds good.
You do hear the guard make his kind of way down the hall, does a patrol, and starts making his way back, so you know that you would have a window.
Okay. So I'll slip out to the other door.
Yeah.
I'll go to this one.
That is a window.
That's a window. Okay.
Can't jump out the window.
Sorry, the other door you can see
Are
is
they? Oh, hold on, my thing.
So you-
is- Okay, I'll go over there.
yeah.
Are these
those
all windows on the?
Those are all windows along the north side. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know if the light is letting you look out. It's hard to see on the screen. Yeah. So as you turn that corner, Lydia, you can see that the guard is making his way down that hallway. You can see that there is another door inset on the left that is also kind of closed. Sloop, you want to pick that lock?
Yeah, so Sloop slips the white glove off of the hook on his tail and taps it on the ground. The thieves' tools come out, and Ooh, it's in that.
Yes.
It is so
Very
fast.
nice.
You are like, what kind of crummy guys are these? It's actually a really good lock on this door. You can see that this door is actually quite well made, quite well locked. But you are such a master thief, so good at getting up into places you are really not meant to be in. You have no trouble entering this room. Lydia, as you get to your door, you also find that it is actually left ajar, and you're able to enter it.
Okay.
Let me delete the doors for you.
Yay.
Bloop. And bloop, there you go.
So I slip the white glove back onto the tail and then high five it, and head into the room.
Makes a satisfying splap. Sloop, you enter into the master bedroom. What you can clearly see is the master bedroom. There is a small kind of office area on your left where you can see there are maps, sea charts, and the like all let out. There is kind of a changing area full of fancy wardrobes down in the bottom right, the bed on the left, a massive fireplace in the center as well, and a skinned tabaxi fur rug on the floor. Yeah. Yeah.
It's pretty grim.
That's dark, I know.
So Sloop kind of pokes his head back out to see if he can see Lydia and gives like a thumbs up. Like,
This one looks really good.
Right. I'll do a quick glance around the room that I went in to see if there's anything worth investigating, and if there's not, I'll go join him in that room.
Lydia, you see a room as you enter. It is another bedroom. You can see that there is kind of a central table there on the rug that's laid out with a number of kind of books and what on it. What's really noticeable about this room is that there are a lot of bookshelves on it that just appear to be filled with novels of all sorts of kinds. The room smells kind of faintly of lavender, and you do see in the northern wall there is a door that leads out into an upstairs balcony.
All right. I don't want to go through all these books, and I'm gonna step back out and I will go join Sloop.
Yeah, you have a very brief window of basically looking in, giving the room a scan, and then closing it as you see kind of the guard like pivoting on his heel as you're able to. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna get you to make a deck save to get out of the way, to avoid his cone of vision.
All right, where's my character sheet? Use a saving throw.
Yeah, you can use the saving throw.
I'm good at these.
Yeah.
ooh.
With a 19, you see him coming, and you are like just very elegantly kind of stepping backwards around the corner as his eyes are just about to have you come into periphery. You hear him kind of go like, huh? And then you hear his footsteps coming again back down the hallway.
I will quickly get into that room, and I'll close the door quietly behind us so that it appears closed.
Yep. And the two of you, you enter into that master bedroom. As I'll cut back down to Django and Ira. You have just kind of made your way back out onto the dance floor, I guess, at this point. The music is kind of getting a little bit wilder. As you make your way out on the balcony, you do see the two teens from earlier kind of like brush past you off the dance floor, bumping into you on the way as they make their way out into the balcony, laughing and giggling. And you are back out into the main hall.
So I'm guessing doing a general scan, we don't see Lydia or Sloop.
I will not make you roll for this. No, you do not.
Because they're not there.
Correct.
So, Django, any bright ideas? Here.
I am muted, dear. This encounter has muted me. I can attempt to cast a message to try to find where Lydia is, if we want to meet up with them.
Probably a good idea.
Okay. So then I will cast a message and just sort of, psst, Lydia, where are you? could respond to this message.
Lydia, you would get
upstairs.
this. Yeah, while
Oh.
you're in kind of the master bedroom. You've
Got it.
probably been in there for a little bit, but not too long.
All right. I'll reply. We're upstairs. We're in the master bedroom. Might be something here.
Should we come find you or stay down here?
Stay down there. Keep an eye out for anyone coming up the stairs. The guard coming up the stairs.
So we should go keep an eye on the guards by the stairway?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do what we can.
Thank you.
And upon hearing that, I'll relay that information to Era. They're upstairs snooping.
Of course. Well, what do they want us to do?
Lydia Amelie suggested that we might keep an eye on the guards by the stairs. Try to prevent them from going upstairs. Maybe we could even snoop around ourselves.
Sure. Let's go. And I suppose we'll make our way over to behind that curtain where they went before, because I'm assuming that's where those stairs were.
Yeah, you begin making your way across the dance floor and over to the hallway by this curtain. You can. No, I guess that wouldn't really stand out to you. Yeah, you make its way there. You do see the guards in patrol where you saw them before, Django. You see the two, kind of one by the staircase and one out in front of the office at this point.
Oh,
And
so
they
the guy in the office got out.
Yes, at this point, the guy in the office has gotten out. Yes.
And they are just in their normal posts. They're not like actively looking around.
You can tell that the guy outside the office is he seems to be pretty like a tent right now. He seems a little red in the cheeks.
Okay.
Around this time as well, you would notice that there's a lot less food coming out of the kitchen and the like, and it's mostly just drinks that are now being cycled, and a lot of stuff is being cleared out.
Okay.
So, Mr. William, what do you suppose we do? You're better at this than I am.
Well, too much snooping could potentially be a problem if they're upstairs and we're down here. Don't want to get in trouble down here while they're up there. Tighten the grip of the guards.
Sorry, cat on microphone. Yes, so, you just want to lay low down here, or?
Perhaps, maybe if we have a moment. Seems there is a downstairs. And we shouldn't leave any stone unturned.
Well, I can always call my little friend back to take a look. She's been sitting
Well,
out
perhaps
there
we
for a
should
while.
check in with your friend while I go and freshen up, my dear.
At this point, a man comes up to Era immediately and is like, you, I saw what you did earlier. That was something special. Oh,
I'm sorry? What do you mean?
what do I mean? I mean, you finally put that lousy two-timing son of a bitch in her place. Excuse my language.
her.
So rude, so rude.
It was. I wasn't aware we attracted that much attention.
Oh,
okay.
well, it was hard not to see such a just perfectly calculated display of magic, if I may say so myself. May I have this dance? And as he reaches his hand out, you see he's in this full tux, full kind of common black and white tux, but with a snake-themed mask on.
William, dear, will you keep an eye out for your sister? I think this might be a good idea.
Certainly, have all the fun you need. Lean into it.
And yeah, Era, this man grabs you by the hand and whisks you out onto the dance floor, where everybody is tearing up a real time. The party's kind of really started to get lit up at this point. Django, you turn around to
keep an eye on Lydia and Sloop, and you suddenly notice that you are standing alone, and a number of these women in bee masks start kind of eyeing you up and going, and start making their way over to you. At which point I will cut to a quick 5-minute break for everyone in the audience so we can all get some drinks and take a minute to breathe.
Oh, get this off me.
Everyone in chat, stay right there. We will be right back.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Masquerade Ball of the Ruffians. I believe we're on episode 5. Yeah, well, all right. Right before the break, we've got 2 of our members, Sloop and Lydia, are upstairs sneaking around the master bedroom, while we have Django and Ira are meant to be keeping an eye on the guards downstairs, but Ira has been whisked away to the dance floor, and Django is getting cornered by a gaggle of lovely women. So, boy, who do I want to start with here? I think Ira. Let's go to you. Let's go to you out on the dance floor, and first and foremostly, because you are doing a dance, I am going to need you to roll a performance check just to see how well you keep it together.
I have.
You got this. You got this.
No confidence. Whoa. Apparently, Eric can dance.
Sure.
Never would have expected that. She talks like she's never gone out of a library.
So this man has whisked you away out onto the dance floor, and you start. It's kind of the moment you get out there, you hear in the corner like a 5, 6, 7, 8, and it really just picks right up, and you start going all out, doing whatever dance people do in pirate times, and you find that this at first it seems like this man in the snake mask is taking the lead, and you get this real surge of confidence about you as you feel as if almost as if you were born for high society dancing, and he quickly notices this and kind of switches sides and lets you take the lead and says, well, you are just full of surprises this evening. I never expected such a dancer as well.
Oh, I'm full of surprises, dear. Tell me, what is your name? I didn't catch it.
My name is Dr. Marcus Bonder. It is a pleasure to meet you. And you? Well, I've seen you all throughout. I haven't caught yours.
Era. Miss Era Blackwood.
A beautiful name. And so tell me, I must know. I saw you rivaling back and forth with the young Erin there. What happened?
Oh, well, my nephew, you see, is fairly messy, and he loves it when I perform magic. So I was making a bit of a show of prestidigitation, and of course she felt the need to disrespect a little party trick being done to amuse a child.
No magic is done as just a mere party trick. I'm impressed to see a mage of your talents here.
Well, my husband was fairly close with Mr. Gregory, so...
Oh. I did not know. Was he a magician as well?
Oh, yes, we were...
Sorry, is he a magician as well? I don't know that he's dead yet.
Yes. Well, he was arguably more talented than myself, really. Top of our class.
I'm terribly sorry for your loss. But I see that both of you seem to be quite talented. Tell me, what school of magic do you prefer? As he dips you down.
Do I lie or do I say this? Quick question, because I cannot remember. Did you say that necromancy was frowned upon, or was it accepted?
Depends on where you are in the world.
Okay.
In the city where the School of Mages is, necromancy is generally an accepted practice, though a little side-eyed, I suppose.
You do know that the general opinion of the undead has soured since the capital city fell and hordes of undead started ravaging the lowlands.
All right, I'm getting. Do I want to lie about this? No, I don't think I can, because if I'm claiming my husband has the history he has, anybody who knew would know I'm lying. So, fuck it, I'm gonna go with it. Oh, we were both in the school of necromancy, actually. I know a bit dark, but fascinating.
You see a huge smile go across his face. He says, necromancy. I must say I've dabbled a bit myself, but I haven't unlocked all the mysteries yet.
Carefully, I hope. There's been far too many stories of people who took interest that went down the wrong path.
Oh, of course. I have plenty of means at my disposal here, so I'm able to explore with some degree of discretion.
Tell me, what have you explored? I have to say, I'm curious.
Yeah, well, I could tell you, or perhaps make a persuasion check.
Oh, alright. I have one nat 20 to burn, and I really wanted to see this, so I'm gonna burn my last nat 20 for this.
Or perhaps I can show you.
That would be lovely.
And he lets out like a hearty chuckle and says, don't worry, nothing untowards or the like, but, I've a laboratory set up downstairs. They've let me, I've been working for the Neres for some time, and they've, provided me with the resources needed as long as I'm able to assist them in manners of the arcane, as he whips a hand up, and you see just like at the end of the song, a couple of like little fireworks shoot off and go like, and everybody like does a big applause as the band says like, ah, gives him a shout, and he takes a little bow to the admiration of the crowd, who seem quite admired by your dancing as well. As you've drawn a bit of attention to yourself during this spectacle.
Just can't seem to stop doing that, can I? Well, I'd love to see it if you'd be willing to show me.
Absolutely.
Just, allow me to let my brother-in-law know. He gets a little worried when I wander off too far. He seems to think I'm a troublemaker.
Of course. At your leisure. And he follows kind of calmly behind you. Django, cutting over to the hallway, you've been kind of sitting there looking around as a group of women have come up to you and start being like, hi, you're a handsome one.
Well, certainly, darling. I've been told that many times from all manner of people.
How is someone like you being left alone on the dance floor like this?
Oh, well, I believe you saw me earlier, perhaps dancing with my wife.
Oh, no, I didn't see her. I don't see her around at all.
Django looks around. He's like, I suppose I don't see her either.
Well, then I suppose she wouldn't mind a dance.
Oh, well, darling, I personally prefer rosé. I'll have to pass on that.
Oh, come on. It'll be fun. But, I mean, if you'd rather, we can sit and drink with you instead. As you notice, like, you kind of, like, look over one shoulder, and it's almost as if they've just multiplied around you.
Well, I suppose drinking partners is much more savory, savvy. Certainly, come, join me, girls, join me. We'll get some drinks.
And like they're like, yay! And I'd love for you to make a performance check to entertain this group of women.
Certainly.
Fine, upstanding women of the night.
Yes, Django's favorite friends. Okay, just checking one thing. I think I'll give myself a little bardic inspiration with this. Talk to myself up a little bit. All right, where is my Roll20 character sheet? Disappeared. All right, performance, you said?
Yes.
All right, so I'll do that. And I'll add my D8. Okay, so 16 total.
A 16. Okay. Yeah, you begin weaving a tale of your choosing to keep the attention. They seem rather interested. You do notice that they are definitely laughing at your jokes in great appreciation. You probably think like, wow, I've never gotten an audience like this recently. Lydia, I can't get Lydia to laugh at any of my jokes at all. And it is kind of a nice feeling, if not a little suspicious. And with that, I'm gonna cut up to the upstairs bedroom as Sloop and Lydia are poking around, snooping. So the two of you have recently entered this room and started looking. You've had a little message back and forth to Django to let him know that you are up here and that he will keep an eye on the guards for you.
Great job.
I'm sure you both want to make investigation checks, but
Yes.
may I ask what you are investigating for, and particularly where in the room? And I will also get you to roll accompanying stealth checks along with these to do it quietly.
I would like to go over to the maps that are on the table and using pirate knowledge, see if there's anything suspicious about them.
Okay.
You want investigation first?
I want, an investigation. Yeah.
Well, nothing.
Boy-
I'm glad
boy,
that
they
wasn't my
look-
stealth roll.
Boy, they look like some sea charts.
Oh,
I will
Lydia.
also get you to roll your stealth checks. Sloop, I'll get you to do the same. So Lydia, you walk over to this set of maps, and you can see that they are like the surrounding, a set of the surrounding waters. You can kind of track some of the supplies coming up and down from some of the nearby villages. But in particular, you kind of look like it's mostly concerned with how the sea lanes are going to operate now that Laura Sea, the capital, is no more. Now that kind of like that central hub of trade power that did exist on the continent, what kind of plans there are to secure that and redirect that trade now into Adrithel as the main trade port. But there is, with an investigation of 4, certainly there is nothing on that looks, you're like, well, this makes sense. This is absolutely what a bunch of traders would be doing given the situation, given
This is
the
what maps
current
do.
global crisis. This is what maps do. This looks right.
This is
But I'm
fun.
very quiet about it.
Yeah. You're just standing there like arms akimbo, like looking over the map, like, yep, this is a map.
Checks out.
Sloop, what are you looking for?
Sloop, I think, is going to go to the desk and is looking for valuables. Like this looks like a pretty fancy room. He's looking for some shiny stuff.
Yeah, are you going to the office desk or one of like the sets of side desks, like the wardrobes and stuff?
I would like to. I think I'll start with the office desk.
Okay.
And if I've got some time, I definitely like to check out those wardrobes eventually.
I mean, you have as much time as you wish to spend in here.
Nice.
Okay.
Everything you do will require an additional stealth check.
Fair.
Right.
Um,
So that's at 22.
Yeah, so you start looting through that, and you would find, in terms of valuables, you are picking up like a lot of things like a gold. There's like a golden candlestick on the table. There are kind of bags of money, bags of coin. I guess in particular note to you, you would notice that some of the coins are stamped. There's a set of coins on this desk that are stamped not with the king's seal, like not with the seal of the Sapphire Throne. They are a currency that is not familiar to you.
I would sort of hand that over to Lydia and be like,
You recognize where this coin came from?
You do
That's
not.
interesting. No.
How those maps looking?
Like maps.
Yeah.
And then Can I turn around and look under the very ostentatious rug? See if there's anything under there.
Sure. I'm not going to make you make a roll for it. There is nothing under the rug. I have not hidden anything under the rug. But it will
Never
take
can
you a
be too
brief bit
careful.
of time to look there.
Okay.
Well, I guess.
There's got to be something here. This door was locked for a reason.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get my my investigating powers on the go. Things are going to get messy though, so.
And then, yeah, sort of like twiddles his hands and then just launches into the wardrobes and starts
Okay.
tearing them apart.
Are you doing this stealthily?
I think maybe as yeah.
Stealthy as you
I mean,
can be
he's
ripping
just
apart the
excited.
wardrobe.
So I'll get
He is-
again. If you want to go through the wardrobes, I'll get you to make another stealth and investigation check for me.
Okay.
Can
stealth.
I look
lady-
in the bedside table?
Yeah.
It's better.
Hmm.
Oh, I need a stealth. Okay.
Man, whoa, you guys are the crack team for breaking into this place. Oh my
This is
god.
why we sent them.
Yeah, so Sloop kind of gets ready to like work his way through, and you see him like go to the wardrobe, and you think he is just gonna like grab everything and rip it out, but instead his tiny little claws just start like very elegantly like a scissors through wrapping paper, just like going through dresses and being like one, nope, and just like puts his head through the hole, goes through the next one, goes through the next one. Sloop, because particularly you are looking for valuables, you do find a necklace in Lillian's cabinet. That is like a large gold necklace inset with a number of very large sapphires. You can tell that it would be worth a small fortune.
All right, that's pretty good.
Lydia, you with a 19 investigation in the bedside tables, you would find a couple. You would find a journal on one side.
I would like to read it, please.
Yeah. It would take some time to kind of
Yeah.
flip through. So I'm going to get you to roll a D100.
Okay. I don't know if I did that right. Oh, you did.
84. As you flip through it and you kind of scan a couple of pages and flip through, scan a couple of pages, flip through, scan a couple of pages to try and get an idea of A, whose journal it is. You discover it is Lillian's. And B, just like what the general sentiment is kind of about her and what she feels. She talks a lot about her children in the book, and specifically like the very, very strong feelings that she has towards how proud she is. And you get the sense through reading it that she is not stoked about Gregory, that she feels kind of trapped within this house, that she feels like she has basically given everything to him and to the children, but that she wouldn't take a moment back for the times that she spent with the children, but that she is pretty unhappy in her marriage. There's nothing kind of directly stating like
Yeah.
fuck him, but that's certainly through scanning enough of the pages, you can tell that she's like
Yeah.
pretty not great with it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, unhappy wife. I'm closing it and putting it back in the drawer.
Okay.
Did you find anything?
I found this.
And I'll sort of jingle around the necklace.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yes, I'm not sure how we can ruin this family using an unhappy husband and a very nice necklace, but maybe
Well,
one
what
more
if
piece
we-
of the puzzle.
What if we plant the necklace on someone?
Oh, I like that idea.
You'd be good at that.
Maybe. Yes. Perhaps it may be a good idea while we are up here before we leave to sow some suspicion that someone, not necessarily us, has been snooping around up here.
All right.
Easier
You
for
look
someone
back to
else
the shredded wardrobe.
I think we've done enough. We don't need to trash the whole room. Don't want to overdo it, do we?
Right. I'm remembering.
Less
Not
is more.
overdoing it. Yes.
Less is more. All right, so we should probably plant it on a member of the Aaron family.
A good plan.
But why don't we go find the others? And maybe they found someone that would be a good candidate.
Do you think we should check the rest of the rooms up here, or are you happy with this?
I think this is good. I don't know how much time we have left. We should go find them.
Sounds good, Mom.
Okay. As you make your way to the door, I will get one of you to make a perception check, because I'm assuming you don't just want to blindly open this door into the garage.
We're professionals.
Yeah, I think
Give you that
Sloop
one.
goes exactly to open the door, and then Lydia probably holds him back and actually listens.
15? Yeah. With a 15, you sit there and you listen for a little bit until you hear those familiar footsteps work their way back, and then back around the corner, and you know that it would be safe to go.
Right, let's go.
Okay.
And I'll follow behind.
Okay. You leave the room, you make your way to the stairs, and you stop yourself dead in your tracks as you realize that the guard at the bottom of the stairs has resumed his position there.
Run past him and I'm going to run after you. Pretend you're playing tag or something.
Okay, sounds good.
And I will, like, as soon as she says that, just leap off the top of the stairs and, like, dink the guard's helmet over his head and be like, "You're it!" And then into the ballroom.
No.
Okay,
Really,
make
no.
make an attack, make a like a melee attack.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Excellent.
It's an 11.
Oh,
These
no.
guys' ACs. Yeah, no, that doesn't hit. Yeah, so you kind of donk him in the back of the head, and he's like, "What the?" As you try to run past, and he will reach out an arm and attempt to grapple you.
Okay.
I'm rushing down the stairs. Fast as
So
I
you can
can.
make a opposed athletics or acrobatics check.
Ooh, my favorite kind of check.
Oh, you slippery
Yeah.
It's hard to
Oh.
catch
Slippery
the
boy.
Sloop.
Are you sure
Uh,
Sloop's like outfit isn't still covered in grease from the food?
Oh, he's
Oh, yeah.
always greasy.
Yeah. He grabs your hand and it just like right off. You see him kind of like stumble forward and catch it as you go racing off into the crowd. And the guard does go to chase after you.
William Blackwood II, you get back here right now.
Had to get up pretty early to catch little Willie.
And just like sprint off into the crowd.
Yeah, so Django, from where you're sitting, enraptured in this crowd, you do see a sloop come racing out and kind of dive into the dance floor, and then a guard kind of follow in hot pursuit, stop on the edge and start looking around for him,
Lydia's
with
following
Lydia behind the guard, currently unnoticed.
Django definitely like sees them both run by and sort of looks up and says to the bees, "Well, that's rather strange." But you see he's holding up his like really nice rapier and he's like, "This was gifted to me by my father, and it is a lovely rapier. It is just look at it." And he's just telling stories.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
completely ignores them running by.
Era, as you are making your way off the dance floor around the same time that this is happening as well. So you kind of are being led towards the stairs. You see Django in a swarm of bees as Sloop goes kind of diving past you, and this guard brushes by.
Do I have the chance to stop Lydia on her run back?
Yeah, she's a few feet, like she's quite a few feet back. So you would have a moment of not surprised by the current turn of events.
Oh dear, what's going on? Did he get in trouble?
Yes, he's run off and playing tag once again. No matter how many times we have this conversation, it's always the same. I'm going to have to come up with a better consequence. I don't think Sweets is working.
Maybe take away his toys.
Yes, that's definitely next. Help me find him, will you? He's going to get into trouble.
I actually have been asked by this particular gentleman to go check out something that might be very, very insightful.
Oh, wonderful.
Perfect for my studies, dear.
Absolutely. I'll just go fetch my son.
All right. Good luck, dear.
Lydia, you make your way out on the floor. Era, you make your way to the downstairs, to the set of stairs, which are currently unguarded. To which you can see the doctor kind of goes like, but shrugs and continues his way to the basement, where I will.
Django will see Era walking past. And sort of see the group all separating, and he'll get up from the bees, and just say, "Darlings, my heart belongs to the sea. Good day," and push his way through them, and he's actually going to tail Era and this doctor to try to. Just so she's not alone down there.
Great. Do you want to make a stealth check for me?
The guard is there, right? There's one guard still there?
There was one guard at the office, but not at the staircase.
Is he paying attention to the staircase?
No, he doesn't really have line of sight on it.
Okay, cool. Then I will do a stealth check. I will not waste a spell slot. Go take a break, mate. Suggestion. All right. All right, that's bad. 14.
14 stealth? Okay. So, Django, you will also make your way down slightly after Era. So, Era, you're brought down into this kind of like stone foundation basement that you can clearly see has been like dug out of the cliff. And he takes you past a couple of different doors that you see on your way through. There's one immediate door, kind of as you go down. Then as you continue down the hall, you kind of reverse around, continue down the hall. There's a wooden door on your right, a set of iron bars on the left that lead into another room.
Just generally passing, I'm just curious, do these iron bars look like the same type of bars that were in the sewer? Or do they just look generic iron bars?
No, they look more like jail bars more than anything else. If you'd like to make a perception check while passing those, I will allow you.
Why the hell not?
Before he leads you to a large kind of stone and metalwork door at the end of the hall that he opens up into.
Well, let me get this perception check going.
Yep.
22. Wow.
22. As you pass by, you would hear some like whimpering from inside there, like the sounds of another person. But you're not able to, you can kind of see in a little bit, and you do see a kind of a couple different boxes, a table with a number of instruments on it, but you can't really see much further than that. It seems like a pretty small area.
Would I be able to tell if that whimpering was male or female? Would I be able to catch any vocals?
Yeah, you'd be able to tell that it is the whimpering of a man.
Oh. That's interesting. All right. And of course I'll follow. What did you say his name was? Dr. Marcus Bonder?
Monder, yeah.
Monder.
So he leads you into this room and kind of closes the door, not all the way. He leaves it a little bit ajar behind him because he's not trying to be creepy.
I was about to say, I'm going to
trying to be creepy.
Listen, he lives in a basement. There's not a lot he can do.
He's interested in necromancy. That comes with the territory, all right?
Exactly, right?
Django would start moving closer when he sees the door close, but keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see it kind of closes a little bit, but then stays open. And you can see that there is like torchlight coming from inside here, or at least candlelight. And Ira, you come into this room where kind of immediately in front of you, you see these two large sets of tables. One of them is filled with a number of different kind of gemstones and books and everything else. On the other is a desiccated spider and various clutches of eggs. You can see that there is on your right is a like small living space where there's a bed, some food and drink and whatnot set out, as well as a desk with research notes and the like. On the left-hand side, you can see that there is what looks to be some sort of altar summoning circle, something fairly common in arcane practices, specifically ones around necromancy. And then there's also like a couple sets of cages and some ovens and the like in there as well.
Do the runes that I'm assuming make up this altar? I'm assuming there's runes along with the circle. Do they stick out to me as any particular ritual, or is it just kind of generic? This is a magic circle.
You can make an Arcana check.
Gladly. Try not to get too comfortable because every time I do, it fails me. All right, come on. There's my Arcana. You'll let me, excuse you, I'm clicking you. There you go.
There you go. 20 on an Arcana? Yeah. So, I mean, you can tell that they are primarily runes of protection. It does seem as if this person is going about this in the right way. Whatever is being summoned in that circle would be able to be contained within that circle.
Okay. Oh.
But you can also see that there are like a lot of different scratched out and older runes and the like in there. Like it's clear that he has been experimenting with a number of different things.
Oh, I have to say I'm a bit impressed.
Thank you very much. It's it's been a long bit of study, but I'm always just fascinated about learning more, you know. There's kind of an unquenchable thirst for knowledge that I've been very blessed with the wealth of the house to let me explore.
Oh, I understand. Trust me, it's what led me to the practice myself. There's just something fascinating about the things that bind us here.
Oh, agreed. You know, I've always found that there are limitations that we have with the human body, and it ages and grows old and sick. Primarily I was hired here as a physician, but there are interests of my own to explore as well.
Oh, I know quite well what sickness can do to the body. Sickness was unfortunately what took my late husband. He was in the middle of his research. Well, I'm carrying on his work, as he would have wanted.
Oh, and pray tell, what was his, the thesis of his projects, of his work?
He was rather fascinated in extending life without completely losing oneself.
You can see his eyes. There's no perception check needed. You can see his eyes grow wide, and he says, "But he died. Is no luck within it? Has your own research provided anything? This is much of what I've done here." You can see he excitedly goes over to this large spider on the table, and you can see now as he starts pointing it out that this spider has clearly been killed over and over and over again and brought back to life as he's conducted various experiments and different wounds on it.
I wouldn't say our experiments are quite as barbaric. We were more looking for what the magic schools wanted to hide from everyone.
Yes. There's always been a lot of secrets up there, the things that go bump in the night, so to speak.
You can imagine me being what I am. Allowing me to see those secrets probably wasn't the easiest.
Yes, well, it is a shame that they don't let your people explore more freely, though I understand it's more rooted in tradition.
I
Perhaps.
mean, I can't say my people are much better. They don't exactly like to accept that their own are interested.
Well, I'm frankly, very few even here are willing to turn a blind eye to this. The masters of the house barely know what I do here as long as I keep them alive and well, and believe me, with Gregory's girth, it takes quite a bit to keep him from, the problems of gout and the like.
The insufferable man. He was
Well,
closest
he
to my husband,
pays
but I
the
can't
bills.
stand him.
Oh, well, it's unfortunate, but your study, it's. Have you had much luck? Could you perhaps assist me? Show me some of your own. I'd love to learn. There's only so much I can learn with the books in this city, and believe me, I have exhausted them all.
Well, let me see what I have prepared, and I will answer that question.
I'll let you think on that as Django is outside the
Please.
door, and I'm sure eager to snoop.
Yeah, I don't have any
Yes.
of my fancy necromancy stuff prepared.
So Django will slowly approach the door, somewhat, listening to their conversation. He'd like to peek into these rooms if he can. Peek into the bars just to see if he can see anything as he's approaching. He has not pulled out his rapier, but he has his hand at the pommel, kind of. He doesn't like basements, and he really doesn't like this guy. He's creeped out by him.
Yep. Make a perception check for the jail bars.
Natural 20.
Yeah. So you're gonna because you're actually able to get up to the door versus Ira, who is kind of being politely guided down this hallway. You're able to see in a bit better. It's actually this one here.
Okay.
So some of the things you immediately notice is that inside and on the right, there is a table that is got quite a fair bit of blood on it. You're able to see these instruments a little bit more, seem to be torture devices of various kinds. As you peer kind of in through the bars as best as you can, you see that there are three more sets of bars, 3 jail cells that are on the left. And this whimpering noise you can actually attribute to the first cell where you can see a man kind of crumpled up on the ground.
Okay. And obviously these bars are, it's a locked door. I couldn't just get in here.
Correct.
And there's only whimpering coming from that first cell.
Yes.
And can I see the man at all, or is it just sort of a shape?
Yeah, I'm gonna say from he is. There's a bit of flicker of candlelight. What can you? Yeah, you can see there. So there is a bit of flicker of candlelight from just inside that is illuminating him. So you can see that he is alive with a nat 20 on that perception. I'm gonna let you know that he is also a elf, a Galakeen.
Elf, okay.
Just to be sure, the Elven family was that the Aaron
Aaron's
family?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Django is very affected by this, and sort of he does not like seeing people imprisoned like this, and no one can see him, but this is like the most serious he's ever looked. And the other doors in this hallway are just locked doors. They're not bars as well, right?
Yeah, they're just wooden doors. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Django is going to step away from the bars, somewhat shocked by this, knowing it's not his skill to get into a room like this. He'll catch himself for a moment, lean against the stone wall, look over to the faint orange light of the room that Era's in, and then immediately send a message upstairs to Lydia and just say, I'm downstairs. Era's here as well with the man she came down with. There's an imprisoned elf down here. Torture devices. I don't know what to do.
I'll be right there.
Bring Snoop. Snoop? I mean, Sloop. Bring Snoop.
Bring Snoop.
Bring in the party.
Bring Sloop if you can.
Which, yeah, we'll cut to the upstairs main floor, where Lydia and Sloop. Sloop, you were trying to lose a guard, I believe, on the dance floor.
Yeah.
So how would you like to go about that?
I think he would. Let me see here. I think he would just try to like run out into the dancers, and just try to sort of swaying along with them, just lose himself among the like billowing gowns and people looking out there. Like he feigns a little bit of a dance as he moves through, just like, hey, excuse me, yes, hello. And then tries to just lose himself in the crowd.
Sloop is the best.
I love Sloop so much.
Obviously, I want you to make a performance check for this, so I'm gonna make you make a performance check for this to see whether or not you disrupt the dance.
Yeah. Yes.
So Sloop, runs in and like actually butts someone out of a dance partner and just starts like dancing with them across the floor.
Yeah, you whisk them away, and as the whirling dervish starts, you can really tell that around this time, it's the drinks have started coming out hard. People are getting a lot noisier, a lot more rambunctious. There's a couple people who are they're not really causing scenes, but they're starting to get a bit more eyes on them out on the dance floor and the surrounding areas. So you're really able to dive into this, and people are just like, who's this little guy? This is fun. And yeah, they start going wild, and you Lydia, even you lose Sloop. Like you go to get him on the dance floor, and he's just like, you see him in like one of these like circles that go around, and everyone's holding hands, and it's like it's just like people, and then like Sloop, and he's completely off the ground. He's just being like held up by two people on either side, and then he disappears again. And the next time the circle comes around, he's not in it anymore. Like
Angry mama bear right now, looking for her misbehaving child.
I guess I would just try to use that momentum to fire myself out of the circle and back towards Lydia as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely see like the guard kind of tries to chase after him, and he kind of gets lost in the crowd temporarily as well. Sloop, with that performance check, I'm not even going to make you make another roll. Lydia, you're looking for him for a bit. You can't find him. You're like, I've completely lost him in the crowd. And then you look down, and he is just like standing right next to you.
We have to go downstairs. But you're not going to sleep with dessert tonight. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go. And I'll grab his hand and start pulling him towards the right back where we were.
Okay.
While all of this is happening, while Django's composing himself downstairs, before they get down, he would want to send a message to Era, not expecting a response, just saying, keep this man preoccupied as long as you can. Do not respond to this message.
And she doesn't. But
yeah. Well, just quickly with Sloop and Lydia, you make your way back to the hallway. And as you're making your way towards the stairs, you do see that Gregory and a number of other portly and mix-matched suited fellows make their way into the office just slightly ahead of you. You seem to have missed them go by, being distracted by the dance. And the door kind of closes. You see a group of them go in, the door closed behind them, and the guard stand guard at that door.
All right, we need to get downstairs. I don't know what's down there, but Django sounded nervous.
Okay, yeah. let's
And that other guard who was guarding the stairs is still looking for me somewhere
He's
else?
looking for you on the dance floor. Yeah.
Okay. So
If you look
yeah,
back, he's probably talking to another couple of guards. Like, well, I don't know. And they're like, yeah.
well, now's the time. Let's get down there. Oh, I want to lock that door again, but oh no, we'll go down.
We'll do it later, all right?
Yes.
Let's go. He needs you.
So you make your way to the stairs, which are continuing to be unguarded at the moment, and make your way down to the basement, where you can see Django lurking in a hallway.
I will immediately go up to him. What's the matter?
Django to his mouth to indicate to be quiet. He's not at the door. He's kind of leaning against the wall back here. He just puts a hand up, points towards the door where Era is. Just says, Era is in there with that doctor, keeping him preoccupied.
Right.
And I'm certain interested in whatever is in there. There is an elf kept prisoner in this room. And he'll point to the bars ahead. Sloop, can you get us in there?
Say no more.
And I'll try
I'll give him bardic inspiration.
Ooh.
Sure.
Good call.
Thieves' tools. Hey.
Hope you get an 8 on that bardic inspiration.
8.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, Sloop, you click out your things and click back and forth, but you seem to be having trouble with the lock, and you think to yourself, if only I had a set of keys to this jail cell.
And yeah, Sloop is like using the keys, like he has the keys around his
As a lockpick.
arm while he's like lockpicking. And then as they like jangle in front of him for the 14th time, he's like, and then tries a couple.
Yeah, you probably have to do like 2 or 3, but one of them fits in and pops the lock.
Yeah, picked it.
Django will immediately go into the room
Me too.
and looking to the cell. Is the man in the cell, is he awake or is he unconscious, whimpering?
Yeah, I mean, upon hearing the door open, you can see that he looks up and kind of gets up to his knees and like backs a little bit into the shadow.
Django will immediately cast Calm Emotions on the prisoner to help make them feel a little bit more at ease. That is a Wisdom save or Charisma save.
DC?
DC 15.
Yeah, you see him kind of back up, and then you see him take a breath and start calms himself and moves forward and says, You're not members of the house. I don't recognize you.
No.
What is your name?
Pippa.
Okay.
Pippa Aaron.
Yes.
How long have you been down here?
A week, maybe more. It's hard to tell without the sun.
What happened? How did you get down here?
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
We're here to help you, mate.
Oh, thank God.
20.
Yeah.
I was caught on the premises. The guards locked me up.
These premises.
Yes, these premises.
What were you looking for?
A way out?
A way out of where?
Out of the house, out of view. Who are you? What are you doing here?
It sounds like we're here to grant your wishes.
The name is Django.
Yes. My name is Lydia.
We're not using the fake. I'm Sloop. Hi.
It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Why
What have
did
they
you
been
want
doing
to
to you
meet them?
here? Oh,
No, go ahead.
what have they been doing to you here?
Yeah, you can just see him kind of close his eyes and look at the ground and just say, "The horrible things. They've been trying to get all sorts of answers out of me.
What are they
But I
looking
didn't.
for?
They wanted to know what I was here for.
What were you here
What?
for?
Yes.
How do I know that you're not just one of them?"
Trust us. We're here to cause chaos.
Oh, we're going to prove it.
We look like Nerois.
Make any one of you make a persuasion check with advantage.
I'll do
I
it
suspect
if you don't
Django
mind.
will want it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh,
Please.
don't mind.
Yeah, do it.
Django's very. I'll say for the two of you, Django has never looked more serious in his entire time you've
Yeah.
known him.
Yeah. Nice.
Ooh.
Double dirty 20.
Goes, Lillian. I was here for Lillian.
Oh. Did I when I was reading her journal, did I catch his name at all?
Not directly in the journal at any point, no.
Therefore, in what way? To kill? You're like an assassin?
Oh, no. God, no. I love her.
Oh. Oh, that's kind of nice. I'm sorry this happened to you.
Your sympathies are appreciated.
Hmm.
So you were sneaking into the house to see her?
Yes. As I often did, and was this time caught on the way out.
Right.
But this what they've done to me, this is beyond reckoning.
Does she know? Does she know you're down here?
I
As the
can't imagine she'd let them.
Has the doctor been doing anything to you?
Overseeing, mostly. I believe it's been outside help.
Sloop,
Yes.
you get these bars open.
Yes.
And flicking through a couple of keys, goes over and just tries a bunch of them.
Yeah. And yeah, one of them would work through this jail cell. No, I won't do it. Okay, yeah. One of them pops open the jail cell without an issue. He says, I can hear the party from here. If I can find my family, if they find out what they've done to me.
And I grab Pipper's hand, and I'm like,
We read Lillian's diary, and she is very unhappy in her marriage.
and I'm gonna press the necklace into his hands, and just say,
Go to her. Go to her and finally be happy.
And he's like, yeah, and he like runs out of the cell and starts making his way to the stairs. Era, you are inside with the doctor.
Dr. Mondo.
Yeah, who
So,
has inquired into your experiments and what you can do.
I don't have any of my necromancy stuff prepared on me, but I assume that just talking of our research will suffice. Well,
Talking about just the research, I mean, I'd love to someone of your great power. I'm sure there must be.
I fair to say I wasn't half the wizard that Davin Blackwood was, and I'm just trying to follow in his steps.
I understand. This is difficult magics.
And You strike me as somebody who likes to delve into where society says we aren't supposed to.
Well, if need be.
Devin Blackwood did not die of disease. Devin Blackwood found something that he took with him, something that I'm trying to find too, to find him. So my research isn't exactly extending life. It's searching for someone I lost.
More of the divinatory fields, I suppose.
Not exactly. I'm trying to find the same secrets he did, so I can understand. He ascended to something that I'd never seen, and something that I hope to reach as well.
Well. This is of great interest to me. I hope that perhaps you could propel my research here tonight, but perhaps you and I have more conversations to be had in the future.
Perhaps. I'll be in town another 2 days.
Grand. Well then, let's get back to the party then. I hate to miss such a lively event.
Oh, yes. Lovely. And as I'm moving, can I make a point to accidentally knock a book over to cause a noise or something?
Oh, sure. I was going to say that you can just start hearing the creaking of a bar, so I will absolutely allow you to do something of that sort. You can make a sleight of hand, a deception, a performance. I would allow...
What am I? Let's see which one I have a better stat in, and then we'll figure it out. So sleight of hand, deception, or performance?
Yeah, if... I like what you're thinking. So also, if you have mage hand prepared, I'd let you make an arcana check.
I think I do. Hold on. I'm on a laptop trackpad, so forgive me. I'm a little slow. I do. So what do you want me to make that? Just cast a spell?
Just an arcana check to go with it, to try and do it in a somewhat subtle way.
Arcana. Okay, please. Be nice to me. Wait, can I add my booster?
Yeah.
And that's a 1d6, right?
That is. If it is the big green booster. Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm really trying to help you guys.
Yeah, so you form this mage hand and push a small gem off the table, which hits the ground and shatters. Django, Sloop, and Lydia, you can all hear this come from the room. And the doctor kind of turns in a gasp. It's like, what are you doing?
Please, my apologies. I'm so sorry. Let me just, and I'm going to get down and act like I'm cleaning things up. My dress caught.
We should head upstairs.
Make a deception check. Certainly. You can see that the doctor is like just like.
Oh my
god! These twins.
Oh no.
Oh, please let me compensate.
Your You expected to cast something like a spell like that down here and then play it off as your dress catching on something?
Can we hear him?
A little more suspicious about why you're in here in the first place.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I am talking a little louder. Hopefully they can hear me.
You can make perception checks.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, please.
Yes, please.
I feel like I'm about to get finger of death here.
Oh, Sloop, we rolled the same thing.
Oh,
Django. He's just not a knight.
He's too distracted.
Django
He's
distracted. He is distraught.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of like making your way out of the room into the hallway, Django is definitely distracted by Pipper, who has gone like racing up the stairs. Sloop and Lydia, you do hear the voices being raised in the other room, and you can hear kind of the doctor with a bit of furiousness in his voice.
Okay.
Just being like, those crystals cost me a fortune to get down here. Do you understand how difficult it is to get amethyst in this part of the world?
I truly am sorry. I do want to make it known I am preparing a spell if he should try to cast one at me. I'm prepared to cast one back.
Okay.
I know we talked about this off screen, but I was 100% serious. I do have my sword in the back of my dress, Wonder Woman style.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
yeah.
that okay?
I know. Oh,
All
yeah,
right, cool.
yeah. That's the
Okay.
dress was built for hiding that, so to speak.
All right, cool. I just wanted to double check that before I take it out.
Yeah. I think he's kind of giving you an eye as you clean this up, and he's like, "What? Where did you get the invitations to this party?
They were
You say
delivered
you're
to
the Blackwoods, but I've worked as the scribe for this household for quite some time, and I've never heard that name cross my desk."
All right. And I'm going to cast Fear,
Ooh.
which I believe is a Wisdom save, and the DC is 14.
14. That is a 5. So you project a phantasmal image of a creature's worst fear. Yeah, so I think he is like reaching out towards you as you just have this ripple of energy come off you. The cloak around you begins to shimmer and fade through. And as he reaches out his hand to him, and you can see this because you are casting the spell, you just see the flesh start to decay and fall and wither off of his hands as it starts to die away and turn to ash around his bones, and work its way slowly up his arms as he starts looking at it and grasping and like screaming in pain as you see he starts frantically looking about for ingredients in the room.
I'd suggest you run.
Yeah, and he backs himself. He quickly races over to his desk, gets into like the corner of the room, and begins like flipping through spell books as he watches this slowly work its way up.
Does that give me enough time to get my ass out the door?
This lasts for a minute, so yeah, as long as you are concentrating on this spell, you have some time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my butt out that door as quickly as possible.
Yeah, the group of you in the hallway see Ira make her way out this door, presumably close it behind her.
We need to go now.
Are you all right?
We're
I'm
running?
fine.
We're
I'm
running?
fine, but we need to be off the premises now. We have been found
Right.
out.
Right. Sheathe the sword. Up we go.
Okay.
Come along, William Jr.
Yes, right away. We're gonna let this guy get away with this.
Oh, trust me, he's very much regretting. Trust me, he's regretting very much what he's did until now. We'll take care of him later. The fact is that he's recognized that the Blackwoods were never invited here. We only have a minute. We need to go.
Are you sure he was overseeing the torture of the prisoner?
And I know exactly why he was overseeing that torture. He's
All right.
I promise. We need to come back here because there's some things. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave Jezebel here. We'll have to come back here.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Up the stairs we go.
Yeah, so you make your way back up to the swinging raucous party that is existing outside of all this horrible basement stuff. And you make your way up the stairs. You haven't taken too long, so the guard has not returned. But as you make your way up into the hallway, you do see Pipper in these like tattered rags covered in scars and the like, clutching this amulet, making his way into the dance floor, just screaming out for Lillian.
I would say
We must leave.
So I'd say that's enough discord for this evening.
Oh, but are you sure we could do a little bit more?
Oh no.
So,
Whoa. Lost Shelby for a moment.
Dimension door.
Oh, we've all swooped spaces. Give her 60 seconds and she'll be back.
Uh-oh.
Here she comes. There
Yeah.
she is.
yeah.
I just had happened. My laptop lost connection.
Ah,
I'm so sorry. What did I miss?
no worries. Nothing. We stopped right away.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're at the top of the stairs. Sloop is saying that maybe well, you guys should cause some more chaos.
Is it quick? Can we do it quickly?
Oh, yeah, it can be.
And I'm gonna go
Do it and
rooting
we go.
around in my bag, and I'm gonna come out with 2 sort of fire bombs
Oh boy.
and be like,
Just a quick 1-2. This'll kick a party off good.
Right.
It's a good thing you're wearing a mask.
If you want to
He
head start, I'll
runs.
count to 20.
I think that's as good as we can get, Sloop.
Yes.
Shall we?
How many seconds has it been since I cast the spell?
Oh, not a whole lot of time. Probably about 30 seconds or so. As you guys are standing around as well, you see the office door open behind you at the end of the hallway. And you just see a hand come out and the guard just go and get pulled into the room. And then 6 seconds later, you see 3 big burly men come out and just be like, they kind of dust themselves off. You can see that they are just covered in like gold rings and various pieces of jewelry around them. And they close the door, take a look around, and nod at the group of you and begin walking their way out to the dance floor.
We need to hurry.
That's not suspicious at all.
We need to hurry. 30 seconds until that spell is off and our secret is out.
Sloop, perhaps one of those bombs should make it to the stairway to block the path of that man coming back up, and another shall make it wherever you choose.
Sounds good.
We should move now.
Go.
Okay, so where are you throwing those bombs?
so I just start counting after he says that. So he's just like,
1, 2, 3.
I think that's our cue. Django will start rushing towards the exit. Rushing nonchalantly.
Yes.
Through the way,
I'm
through
right
the way
beside
you
him.
came in?
Yes, the way
Yeah.
they came in.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, the area you're going with them, yep.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, so the 3 of you start making your way towards the exit with Sloop, I guess, just chilling in this little corner for the moment.
Are there torches in the room?
In which room?
In the ballroom.
Oh,
Oh
yes,
my
absolutely.
God, you don't need fire.
Is there a
There's
chandelier?
yeah, there's a couple of huge chandeliers up top.
Yep.
No, do it. Do it.
I
Oh my
will.
God.
I will. And Django started counting in his head as soon as Sloop did, and as soon as we get to the 10-second mark of that count, Django is going to cast pyrotechnics onto the
Oh my God.
the chandelier.
Okay.
That will cause fireworks to explode with dazzling displays of color. Each creature with 10 feet of the target must succeed on a con saving throw or become blinded for 6 seconds. But I just want to do it to distract entirely to the center of the room.
Okay, yeah.
Distract
Sort of
away
like
from
what
Sloop and
what the doctor did during the dance. Almost.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a scene going on the dance floor as you come out. As you see, like there's a crowd around the center as you kind of peer through it and see Pipper and Lillian in an embrace.
So what I'm going to change it to actually is I'm not going to do fireworks because it has 2 options on the spell. It has fireworks or smoke. So I actually want thick black smoke to spread out from the chandeliers and sort of just descend ominously down over the audience in a 20-foot radius.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we're out of there.
That'll start on the 10. Nobody notices it immediately, but they will after a short time.
Yeah.
So Sloop, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And
Where
Sloop-
exactly are those going?
So yeah, he like pushes a table or like balls up a rug and just throws it into the stairwell and smashes one there.
Okay.
And then he sort of like strolls out in, and as this smoke is like pluming out, and people are, I guess there's a. You said there was a scene with Aaron and Lillian.
Yeah. There's definitely with Pipper. Yeah. There's a fair bit of a scene and a lot of like gasps of oh my's and whatnot. The band is still playing, but it is like nobody is dancing or anything. And people are. You can tell that some people are like calling out for Gregory. At which point these well-jeweled gentlemen are like, that's our cue. And you can see them are also like sidestepping towards the exit.
Okay. So then, yeah, I like look up at that scene and just be like,
Oh, that's so sweet. True love always wins.
and then on the way out the door, I'm gonna like run ahead of those muscly guys, and then at the doorway, just scream, "Thank you for a lovely party for the Ratcliffes!" and then smash the
Nice.
the other one on the ground
Very
in the
nice.
front, like trying to block the exit with.
Oh,
Nice.
like
Or
on the
the plate.
stairs.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, you guys start hearing like a lot of screaming as you make your way out. Django, Lydia, and Ira, you're a little bit further ahead. Sloop, you're a little bit further behind, but not by much. Yeah, you make your way out as you start hearing all these like screams and oh my gods and oh there's a fires. As you kind of burst your way out through the front door, where you see the butler standing there, and he's just like, "Oh, did you have a nice evening?"
It
Lovely,
seems as
thank you.
though there's some quite a bit of commotion inside, and I suggest, sir, that you forget that you ever saw us, that you go inside and help your friends. And I will cast suggestion on him.
Nice.
All right, I'm taking this torture device off.
Nat 20's the saving throw.
Fuck.
I'll
And he's
punch
like, "Oh,
him.
there's a commotion inside. Oh dear." And it's like, "Well, have a lovely evening." And you can see he is still making his way inside because that's his job, is to deal with
Yeah.
commotions.
I won't actually punch him.
Yeah. And definitely
Seems like a nice
Sloop,
guy.
kind of as you pass by him in the hallway and he gets kind of to the staircase, you hear a like, "Oh my god," behind you as the doors close. And yeah, you guys start making your way away from the house as you look back to see fire start bursting out the windows. And as you make your way to like down the hill, the trade market row, you can start seeing like there are people kind of piling out. You do see this group of these like 3 larger gentlemen that are just like they're ripping off their tuxes. And their
Yeah,
masks.
Django's doing the same thing.
You recognize them as the pirates that you gave the invitations to in the
Nice.
tavern.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hilariously, Django is going to be doing the exact same thing as they're running away, ripping off his tux, and he looks at it mournfully and tosses it over the edge of just because I know, isn't it like up on a hill where there's an edge that kind of falls down? He just tosses it all off the edge, and he's just in like a very bare tunic and pants at this point while
I'm
they're
gonna
fleeing.
pitch my mask over the edge too.
Yeah, me
as
too.
you guys all go chucking your masks over as this house lights up in flames behind you. I think that's the perfect spot to call tonight's session.
Wow.
Woo!
What a masquerade. What a
Everyone.
masquerade.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really
Thank-
well done.
Thank you, everyone in the chat, for sticking with us and everything. I'm gonna let the players do a little round of introductions. Tell you a little bit about themselves before I do some final thank yous and whatnot, and we wrap up for the evening. So let's go in lovely reverse order as we love to do, and we'll start with Mike as Sloop. Mike, tell us a little bit about you, where the viewers can find you if they want to hear more of your lovely dulcet tones.
Yeah, my dulcet tones can be found on the Wonders and Blunders podcast, which I am the DM of, and Agent is a player. He plays Brazisia Dask, a much bigger lizard than Sloop. You can find us at wonderandblunder.com or at Wonder and Blunder on just about any social media. Check it out.
Excellent. Next up, we have Era, who's been played by the lovely Shelby.
Hi, I'm Shelby. I'm from the channel Wystle While You Work, spelled Wystle. You can probably find me on Twitter at WhistleWhist or Instagram at Wystle While You Work, where I tell stories of my D&D antics and draw whatever creative things comes to mind. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast.
Ooh, it's a real blast there at the end.
Yeah,
On the other side,
doing.
On the other side, we have the Paradise RPG crew. We'll start off with Lydia, who has been playing Lydia, who is being played by Shannon.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for a great session. This was great. You can find me all over social media, Twitter mainly at sroby25. You can find me on Sunday nights and Monday nights on Paradise RPG over on our Twitch channel. Sunday's Power Hour. Monday is our flagship show, Advantage in Paradise. We just wrapped up a battle and we're getting ready to figure out what we're going to do next. It's going to be great.
Excellent. And last but not least, we have Django Weatherby Teague being played by Sean.
Yes, and you can see my lovely portrait right there on the screen. But thank you, everyone. This was such a fun session. You can find me anywhere on social media at Odo_Sean, ODO_SEAN. You can find me DMing the Paradise RPG flagship show, Advantage in Paradise, on Monday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, where you can listen to my dulcet tones. Not in Django's voice, unfortunately. You can also find me on Wednesday nights. Potentially that might change to Thursday nights, but for now, Wednesdays, for Relaxing in Paradise, where I avoid my players and just enjoy my own personal lore corner, where I write and talk with the chat, and we'll probably start drinking some pina coladas during it as I relax in Paradise, avoiding all of Shannon's questions in chat. But thank you for a great night, everyone. This was so much fun. So much fun.
Thank you all so much. And of course, I am Kieran, also known as Agent Number One. I basically live on this channel at this point, but I'm also, of course, I'm part of the Wonders and Blunders crew, where Mike and I have been making stuff for a long time here now. I also play here on this channel. I play on Friday evenings, Australia time, Friday mornings, Eastern time. And Mondays with the Empire of Darkness, a Warhammer-themed campaign where I play a old doddering Russian wizard, which is a lot of fun. All my characters I'm playing this in all the seasons right now are also really depressed, which is just a joy to play. I'm really excited that I get to DM this because I'm like, oh, I'm having so much fun. Not that I'm having fun with the other ones, but that's just it. I got a bunch of people to thank, so I'm going to rattle my way through them. First and foremostly is, of course, our wonderful artist, Brepai. You can see the great portrait there of Lydia Ray right now. She does all of our character art. She has an amazing comic. Just a knockout artist. Check her stuff out. There's links down below. We also have a collection of partner channels and people that we love shouting out kind of every time. Starting off, we got Nerds of the West, which is a Western Australian board game channel that we share players with. And they do all sorts of cool stuff. Some of them are in the Heart of the Plains campaign right now on this channel. But they're going to be coming up, I think, in some more stuff soon. And then we also have Wonders and Blunders, which we've talked a little bit about. We also have Paradise RPG, which I want to give an extra special thank you shout out to. I'm going to try to slow down a little bit on my words. And then we also have therebedragonscast.com is another podcast that we have some players from in one of the other campaigns that we love. They're very dear. They also share our wonderful Brepai with us. They're great. Check them out. We got all these great people, all this great community, which, speaking of this community, wouldn't be possible without Role4Damage, Vegemite, Dangerous, and Nova One, who co-run the channel and have created this incredible space for us all to get together, tell wacky stories, and meet everybody in chat, which is just always a joy. Chat, I love you dearly. I'm terrible at paying any attention to you while I'm DMing because I have too many things going on. But if you come into any of the games where I'm a player, I will chat my face off with you. So by all means, I think that's it. I think that's everybody I have to thank. So at the end of every night, we like to do a little raid and pass on the love to a community member, to which I like to pass on that honor to our producer, the man behind the curtain, who's been sitting here secretly listening in the whole time, Vegemite Dangerous.
Hey guys. Geez, what an explosive bit of fun that was. The tension at the end there was just so great. Like, wanting you guys to do it so bad. Just sitting there at the edge of my seat. Like, I had to yell at the screen at one point. Just do it already. Throw the ball. Yes, thank you so much, guys. That was a fantastic show. Thank you guys in the audience. I really want to thank, of course, all those people that have subbed. Sean, thank you so much for the gift subs tonight. That was so nice of you. Of course, we have been growing exponentially. We are so close to hitting 1,000 followers, and we would really
So close.
so close.
So close.
We are
Cruising
currently
along.
at 939, so we are ridiculously close to that goal.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to do it because we've got some big things to celebrate with. Of course, though, I won't hold you guys hostage much longer. If you do want to follow us, jump onto the Discord. We've got lots of things going on there. You can find out updates on our upcoming shows that we're currently organizing. We've got some big ones that I'm organizing. We just hit 940. Thank you. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter for any updates. We're going to be doing another big push on Twitter to sort of make sure we get our social media out there, because the two of us, both Nova and I, are pretty slack on it. But yes, that'll be all from us this evening. And as we always do, we pass on the love with a form of a raid, and we actually have the chance tonight to pass on that raid to one of our partner streams. That's Nerds of the West, who are currently playing Civilization 6.
Hey.
So we're going to go and pass on that love.
Big
Guys,
5-man Civ game.
big 5-man Civ games. Guys, please chuck your favorite raid emotes up when we do the raid. Tell them about the show. Let them know. And say goodbye to our lovely players.
Bye.
A lovely
Bye.
player.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.